going, homies and homiettes? You know who it is, just truly! King of Charisma, Shaman of Swagger, Carter James, the Nillihcmaster, coming to you live from my beautiful place in North Hollywood, California, ready to talk to you about my dear, dear friend Larissa Vienna and her band, Larissa Vienna and the Strange, and their new, wonderful, and exciting EP called Make the Pain Pretty. My good people, my great positive vibers, my fellow human beings. Here's one you do not want to miss out on. Why? Because you have 5 fun-packed and very phenomenal and intriguing songs to look forward to in every way. I'm going to break down every single song, starting with Break the Spell, followed by Make the Pain Pretty, and so on and so forth, talking about how I feel about all of them individually. Of course, Larissa Vienna, as you probably all know, is a very, very dear friend of mine, but I want to talk to you guys as if I'm a critic who doesn't really know her on a personal level. So with that being said and kept in mind, I want to start with the beginning of this wonderful EP called Make the Pain Pretty with the song Break the Spell. Break the Spell recently had its music video come out a couple of days ago. Fantastic music video. I think it was very encouraging, very enlightening, and good to know the wonderful musical growth that is Larissa Vienna and the Strange. It's definitely a step up from their last EP, and especially showing what was said and done with Break the Spell, it's pretty evident. Of course, when you think about the wonderful, wonderful chorus, or pre-chorus that is, I wanted you, this, us. You wanted drinks, sex, drugs, because love is not what this was, and you're lying to yourself because you and I were all wrong. And because you put me through hell, don't say those 3 little words, I'll break the spell. It shows a phenomenal and very, as you well know, vulnerable side to Larissa Vienna. Larissa Vienna, as a lyricist, is not afraid to be vulnerable and to show and express the hardships she went through song. And I would presume that Break the Spell is about her ex-boyfriend, whom I also knew personally. It was really evident to me that she really made this song stick out, not only because of Vanity Welsh's fantastic violin playing with that classic sound, but it also shows her range as a vocalist. It really shows at the end of the song her wonderful whistle register, pretty kind of prevalent around the lines of Mariah Carey. But it really does show to me a wonderful growth in what is to be expected in future records to come. The next song, Make the Pain Pretty, is also a fantastic song, a great follow-up to Break the Spell. Why? Because it has the same kind of tone, but with the same melancholy and very vulnerable lyrics. I've got it bad, they say it takes time, the clock ticks without rhyme, Larissa sings. You echo in my bones, you're engraved in my soul, your veins guide me home. The entire song shows a very, very naive but very, very interesting way of how some people glamorize pain, whether it be cutting themselves, self-harm in any way or otherwise. Larissa Vienna makes it very well known and very inevitable that this song talks about how horrific it is to really glamorize pain, especially when you inflict it upon yourself. Larissa Vienna makes no ands, ifs, or buts about it. The entire song really shows another side of her vulnerability as well as her strength as a vocalist. She's really learning how to, expand her head range, and hopefully that will expand, for future songs, because this is one that really sticks out to me vocally. Another great song, Dance in the Gray. This song was, for me, one that I was kind of on the fence about at first until I read the lyrics. The lyrics, for example, the chorus, dance in the gray, my dear, it's okay. Put on your dress, don't think what your father will say. All the things on your mind, it's beautiful. I'll dance in the gray with you tonight. For me, it was hard to wrap my head around the meaning of the song, simply because I was so much more focused on the tempo and the overall musical structure of the song, which is really, really well done. but I think it would leave a couple of listeners who are not familiar with Larissa Vienna's lyrical content a little bit dazed and confused. But at the same time, the music itself, I think, overpowers the lyrics a little bit, especially if you're not really understanding of the definition of what the song and its message is trying to convey. Dance in the Gray, I would not say is the biggest highlight on the album, but it is definitely complementary to the first two songs, just barely. One song that I will say is probably the biggest disappointment on the entire album would have to be The Crash Feels Good. The only thing that really saved this song in my mind were the lyrics, especially the first verse. I don't want to fuck Jimi Hendrix, Larissa Vienna writes. I just want to be him. I don't want to look like a Barbie. I just want to be like the girls who do. The lyrical content saves the song. Why? Because it sounds like a very typical B-side that Larissa Vienna would write rather than putting it on her regular EP. It would sound like something she would save because even though it wasn't her favorite, it was something that may have stuck out because of the lyrical content. Just an opinion. The Crash Feels Good. It felt very repetitive, especially with all the I don't want it to's, all the I don't want it to's that she sings. It felt like she didn't really know what to do vocally with that breakdown. And it was not really, I would say, a super strong vocal performance for Larissa Vienna, when I know that she's doing everything she can present day to expand her range and to grow as a vocalist and as a frontwoman. It felt like it was kind of forced lyrically, and it felt like even though there was a message, sure, it talks about, acceptance from people, the highs and lows of fame when people view you as this phenomenal object rather than as a regular human being. And it was really difficult to really comprehend how to take the vocals and how to make the range work with a song like this. It felt very boring. It felt like it ended abruptly. It didn't feel like it was a really strong song, a second to last song for that matter. I think that if the song Baby, for example, was on this album, the song Baby from their first EP, Strange Siren, I think that if that was the fourth song rather than The Crash Feels Good, I feel like the flow of the album would have been a lot better. But thankfully, Larissa Vienna redeems herself from that song with the highlight of the album, in my opinion, called Fire Away, also co-written by her wonderful guitarist, Nick Workman. Nick Workman and Larissa Vienna have been working both as vocalists and guitarists for about 8 years now, and it was very prevalent, this song. Nick Workman's influence really showed through in a lot of these lyrics, like, am I old news, a cigarette already been used, can I leave, should I go, meet my eyes and let me know. The chorus, fire away, let it rain, see my tears run with your hate, flowing down my face, I trade anything for a change. Nick and Larissa know how to be vulnerable, and Fire Away was definitely an A+ song. I don't feel like there was anything missing, even though it did say that, he did share a little bit of the vocals with Larissa Vienna. I think the song would have been almost perfect if Nick had his part in the song heard. Because it was hard for me to hear him, because I heard that he was doing background vocals in that song. It was hard for me to really hear him sing with Larissa Vienna. I believe that if Nick had more of a sound in that song, it would have made the song smoke a little bit more. But don't get me wrong, it was a fantastic song from start to finish because it really felt like something that Paramore would have come out with if the singer from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Karen O, were to make a guest appearance. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. The Yeah Yeah Yeahs mixed with Paramore. Karen O singing for Paramore instead of Hayley Williams. Every single moment of that song really had me excited for what is going to be the next EP, or hopefully the first full-length album of Larissa Vienna and the Strange. And I'm pretty sure, with a clear conscience, that if Fire Away was not on this album, and their last song, let me pull it up again, The Crash Feels Good were the last song on the album, it would have been a dud. It would not have been a stronger LP. Overall, this was a step up from their first EP, Strange Siren. Why? Because it felt like it was more rock and roll. It had a lot more, not only vulnerability, but it also had more strength. I felt like the lyrical content was better. Larissa Vienna, as you well know, is a fantastic poet and a rock star. You get the best of both worlds with her. And everyone contributed wonderfully. Aaron Mendoza and Luke Wolf are a fantastic rhythm section. It really showed in this album way more than on Strange Siren. Nick Workman is just shining in every way, shape, and form, and Fire Away was a fantastic asset for the album. And his guitar playing is just getting better and better with time. He's like fine wine. Vanity Welch with her violin. I wish that I could hear it a little bit more rather than, the first song, the wonderful and incredible and exciting, powerful Break the Spell. I really hope that she can shine more on future LPs, EPs, or otherwise, kind of like how the band Yellowcard uses their violinist. I think that if Vanity Welch heard a little bit more of this band Yellowcard, she could get some fantastic inspiration for future LPs. So there you have it. What grade would I give this? I would say the same grade as I gave Strange Siren a year ago. I would give it a fantastic and phenomenal B+. An A, it hasn't made an A for me simply because, The Crash Feels Good really should not have been on this EP, excuse me. I feel like if they chose a stronger song, like if Baby came out on this album rather than on Strange Siren, it would have been a more complete EP because of the tones and because of the beats per minute. You always get that standard, classroom doom from Larissa Vienna. If indeed the band in itself worked on faster paced songs like Fire Away a little bit more predominantly, I'm pretty sure it would not put some viewers to sleep or listeners to sleep. Because there are some songs that I believe that Larissa Vienna has up her sleeves that would be something you'd want to pump iron to in the gym. And I believe in Larissa Vienna and The Strange for having that kind of energy, but still keeping the same melancholy and gloomy energy that they've had in the past, and something that they should keep presently. But they should not be afraid to mix it up. I felt like there was a little bit of that being held back in this EP, which can be held in consideration for future EPs and LPs. Larissa Vienna and The Strange, great job, but I know that the best is still to come. I'm looking forward to hearing what the entire package of Larissa Vienna and The Strange will sound like. I'm looking forward to it, as well as all your family, friends, and fans. Stay NILLIHC forever young and champions. The best is still to come. Great B+ EP. And as always, it's NILLIHC time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and you'll be hearing more from me and my good man D-RAZ very, very soon. Later!